Hey guys, welcome back to South of the River. We're working on the wood stove and we're going to get it all put together and start a fire in it. But I had to make a bracket for the outside of the wall where the flue comes out. And they sell a bracket that mounts to the outside of the wall because what I'm using is that double thick insulated flue pipe. And that stuff's pretty heavy, and I got to put two 36-inch pieces together with the rain cap. The rain cap doesn't weigh that much, but those 36-inch pieces, they weigh pretty good amount of weight. And they do sell the outside bracket. It's kind of like just two V's with some holes where you could screw that to the outside of the wall, and then it's got a flat plate with a circle, and those pipes screw on there. But it's $50 for that stupid pipe. So I had some metal left over from the bridge build. I had some rebar left over, and I had some extra C-channel from some project I had. So that's what I did. I made my own bracket. It looks like that. Might look kind of weird in how it goes, but if you can imagine this getting lagged to the outside of the cabin like this, and then that flue pipe comes out and rests on top of that small 6-inch piece of C-channel right there. It's going to rest right there, and a band's going to go around that and hold all the weight where it comes out in 90s to my clean out tee, and then goes up the two 36-inch pieces of pipe. So that's the bracket I made. It'll make more sense maybe once I get it put up out there, and I'm gonna go check it real quick, make sure it's, well, I already checked it, but once that high heat boot gets here, I want to make sure everything fits together. I did put the hole in the wall already for the flue, where the flue goes out of the wall. I was very gentle. The only thing I have is, the biggest hole saw I have is a 5-inch, and the outside diameter of that pipe for a 6-inch flue is 8 inches. So it's about a little over $100 for an 8-inch hole saw, so I wasn't going to do that. So I made a round template of the pipe, and I drilled a hole through the center of where the flue was going to go out the wall, and I put my template on there, took a marker, drew it out, and then I took my grinder, ever so gently but quickly, I took my grinder and I ground out my mark on there and put the hole on the side of the cabin. I did it quickly because I didn't want to start a fire inside the walls with all the sparks. So anyway, we got that hole cut out in the cabin. I got the flue going through the wall, just temporary. Everything's just being dry fitted. I got that going through with my T on it, and then I also have my black pipe coming off the stove hooked up to that, just like I said, temporarily. So and that was so I could get all the measurements for this bracket that I was making, trying to save $50. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this primered, painted, and then when that high heat gets out here in the mail, we can get out there, take everything apart, and get the flue pipe installed, get this bracket installed, and get everything done and get a fire going. So let's get this thing painted up. I'm not gonna video it, I'm just gonna paint it. So we'll wait for that high heat boot to get in here, and then we'll get out there, take it all apart, and put it together. All right, comes with some gloves. Nice. Could always use gloves. Got the screws and some bugle tape. So here's the boot that I was talking about. Let's get rid of this. That's how that goes. And then here is the high heat temp boot. That's got to be 3 or 4 times. So yeah, that's it. I have one of these on the outside of the barn for my furnace, and it works very well. It took about 4 days to get it, but yeah, that's it right there. It's 15 inches from here to here, and it's adjustable from 5-inch pipe to 9-inch pipe. So basically you kind of figure out this pipe that I'm putting in is 8-inch. So we're going to go from 5, and we're going to go, let's see, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go to this rib right here. And it actually says on there. That's millimeters. Why is it in millimeters? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. It says right on here, 6 3/4 to 7 1/2. 7 1/2 to 8 1/4 is that one. So we're going to go probably 6 3/4 to 7 1/2, which is this rib right here. And that's where we're going to cut it. So you're actually going to take a knife and you're going to cut all the way around the rib. And then this slides over the pipe like that, like a hat. And then it slides all the way down like this. And then you screw it with sheet metal screws, like barn screws, to your building. And then this outer flange right here is adjustable. It's probably lead, that's why it's so flexible, or it might be aluminum, but I'm going to say it's probably lead. And you could bend it so it goes over your ribs of your sheet metal. So it's kind of nice. So I'm going to get this cut. It's pouring down rain outside, like pouring down rain. So I'm just going to cut this and get it fit for the 8-inch for my double insulated pipe. And then tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, if it's not raining, we'll put this thing all together. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Morning, guys. We're out here another day. It's raining a bit still, but we're gonna go ahead and work on this a little bit without getting too wet. So let me show you the pipe as it's coming out of the cabin here. Got the hole cut out, got the pipe in there, it's all dry fit in there. I gotta take it all apart, but what I want to do is I'm gonna mark with my marker right up against the cabin, just a reference line. So when I take this apart, I could put my boot on there and I'll be able to put it pretty much where it goes, because it's gonna be super tight sliding over the outside of that, and without having someone to hold the inside of the pipe, it's gonna be pretty hard to slide it over and get it up to the cabin where it needs to be. So that's pretty much where the pipe is gonna sit. So like I said, I'm gonna put a reference line right there so I know where the boot's gonna stop. So let's do that. Now hopefully a line right here. Just like that. And now we could take it apart and get some of this put back together. All right, here's the inside of the stove. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I like it. Zoom out a little bit. That's how it's going to look on the inside. So I got to pop all these off and then pull my pipe off the outside. So let's do that.
All right, we'll try and get this bugle tape on there. All right, it's not that that pretty, but you can see how that works on there, that boot. Trying to get a view without falling down here. And then as you screw it on, it bends around all your highs, all your ridges, on top, bottom, and the sides and everything. So it makes a pretty nice seal around there. I believe this is called. I'll put a picture in the video of like where I got it from, the company. I believe it's called the Eagle 1 boot, and these things are great. They're good up to, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say 1,000 degrees. It's not 1,000 degrees, but it's really high. It's up there somewhere. Anyway, it might be around 500 or 600 degrees. But I'll put a picture in there so you can see what it is. But I think it's an Eagle 1 boot, and it's good for extreme high temperatures, so it's not going to melt or anything like that. And it makes a really nice seal around your building. So yeah, so we got that installed. It was a pain in the butt to get the inside on there, but we're gonna have to play with it a little bit as far as getting everything lined up. But it looks pretty good. I have a collar. They only had one collar, so I'm going to put a collar here, I believe, and then I'd like to get another collar for right here. I think we're going to have plenty of clearance to go straight up, and it's going to just be a couple inches outside my eave. So yeah, here's the clamp that goes on my eave. This screws to the overhang, and this goes around the pipe. And then I have another clamp that I made up for my bracket that I made. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll get we'll go get the bracket. We'll go get that bracket and get that installed. Tighten it. It's not recording.
All right.
Hang on. All right, there's the bracket. Mounts to the wall like that and goes up, and then I made a band that goes around that right there. That's going to hold the stovepipe so that all the weight from the other pieces, they're going to pull down on it. It's not going to move a whole lot, but with this it's going to carry all that load. And then there's the boot. I'm not saying the high heat temp boot. I'm not saying that anymore. So there's the boot, and it's on there, and I think the bracket turned out pretty good. So here's my shop foreman. She's out here this morning, so looks good. All right, so I didn't video any. I put it up, I thought I hit record. I didn't hit record. So all right, so this is just, or I'm not sure what the name of this stuff is. You could buy it at any hardware store. I think it's mainly just for holding up pipes and stuff under your floor joists or in your attic and things like that. So I just cut a piece, bent the ends down long enough that it will go all the way around and hold that. And hopefully it fits on there. should. All right, we got everything on there. I got to get one more piece of 36. I think I'm going to do a 36. They have 24s, but the higher you go, the better airflow you're going to get through that flue. So I think I will do a 36-inch on there. But everything worked out pretty good, actually. See my bracket that I made that goes on there? That goes through and screws into my girts. And then that comes up here to that piece of C. And then I got a band that goes around there like that. You can see that there. And that just clamps on like that. Pretty simple, basic stuff. But I like the way the bracket turned out. And I did put some, it's actually weather stripping. It's 1-inch weather stripping, double sticky on each side. And I put two rows of that covered that entire piece. And that way when I screwed it onto the sheet metal, I didn't want it to rust back there, trap water back there. I don't know if it would or not, but that's why I put that back there, just to keep like a barrier between the two. So the water doesn't get back in there. So yeah, that's on there, screwed on. This came out really good. I wish my flue was over just a little bit over this way, because I was right on that rib, and it was kind of difficult to go around that being so close. If it was over a little bit, then I wouldn't have any problems as far as bending this piece here to go over that. But yeah, it looks good. I got the tie up there that holds the flue to the overhang. That turned out pretty good. I did have to cut, I had to cut my my transition, or whatever piece that is there. I had to cut that. I'm gonna throw some caulk in there just to seal that up, but that should be good. I'll caulk that up, and that goes around and just bands on there. So yeah, that turned out pretty good. And then for this clean out tee, it just gets that, and then that closes her up. It's nice and tight, but I'm gonna leave this off because it is raining a little bit, and I don't want the water to pool up in there. I'm gonna let it flow through. So yeah, that turned out nice. Yeah, it's nice and straight. That's good. All right. All right, guys, so we got that top 36-inch piece up there, and it seems nice and tight. I had this type of pipe installed at a previous residence, and I never had any tie downs up there as far as the wind blowing it or anything like that, and it was always fine. So I'm just gonna let it go for now. I have a bunch of that strapping with the holes in it. I have a lot of that left over from another job I had. The same strapping I used to go around right here, this stuff right here, that banding, I have a bunch of that left over. So I think if I need a tie down as far as going around that top 36-inch piece and coming down to the roof, I could use that and it'll be fine. But I'm gonna let it sit the way it is like that. We're gonna start a fire and see how the flow goes, see if we get any smoke inside the cabin or not. But yeah, that's it. the entire thing is finished. As far as the bracket, the T, the flue going up there, we'll go ahead and put this piece back on. Just like that. All right. So, yeah, we will start a fire in here and see how it does. So, I think I'm just going to throw a couple extra pieces of the wall board that I have, put that in there and start it and see how it goes. All right, so this is the first fire we got going in her, and make sure everything's good. I'm going to close that up. And see how she flows out the top of the chimney. She's coming out pretty good there. And there you have it. There you have it. Stove's installed. So, all right. Everything looks good. So, that's it for the video. We'll call it quits. So, stove's installed. Got the fire going. Gonna warm this place up and dry out the rest of this wood. So, next video, once everything dries up, we're gonna get all the boards up on the ceiling, all on the walls. We're gonna build that the little loft over there, and then figure out what we're going to do for flooring eventually. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys liked the video. Like it, subscribe it, give me a thumbs up if you can, leave me a comment too, and I'll try and get to it when I see it and when I can. And that's it. I hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy, and until next time, we'll catch you on the next video, and we'll get some more work done. So that's it. All right, thanks a lot.